What is the number one thing that people misunderstand about love?
What we misunderstand about love is all because of the books, the romantic novels, and the movies that we have watched. Love is not like that in real life, and our life is not a rom-com movie.
Why do people fear being alone? And how does it impact their relationship?
Being alone is not only about loneliness, because we only look at one aspect of being alone, that is the negative aspect, that is being lonely.
How spending time in solitude help you build stronger and healthier relationship?
If you don't love yourself, how do you expect others
Correct.
to love you?
What are the practical steps of being comfortable in solitude?
Begin with small steps. Having a cup of coffee, going out for lunch. Do it just for yourself.
Welcome to Sapno Ke Canvas, a podcast where dreams, stories, poetries, and emotions come alive. I'm Sweety, and we have Clinton over here. And I'm really excited about today's episode as we are going to dive into a book that actually taught us what love actually is. Or should I say, that has actually changed the way people think about love. प्यार एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत सा एहसास है, whether it's self-love, romantic love, or a love for family or friends. But do we really know what love actually is, and do we really know how to love? So Clinton, I can see you have come up with 8 rules of love.
Yeah.
But before going further, I would like to ask you one question. As I was talking about love, so I would like to ask you one question. What is the number one thing that people misunderstand about love?
Misunderstanding about love is that love is easy. That love just happens. But love just doesn't happen. There's a difference between chemistry and connection. It's not all about chemistry and connection when it comes to love. What we misunderstand about love is all because of the books, the romantic novels, and the movies that we have watched. Love is not like that in real life, and our life is not a rom-com movie. The most misunderstood parts of love is the most romanticized parts of love. So the movies show us the grand gestures and going beyond measures. Yes, these things happen, but that's not the only definition of love. Nobody can define love. That's very much accepted, but what is shown is also not the actual form of love. Love takes different forms. Love grows upon you. Love nurtures you. Love matures with you. So, simply put, love is the most misunderstood concept this very universe has to offer. But love is not that difficult to understand as well. So it's a complexity, or maybe I can call it a paradox. Love is easy, love is difficult.
Okay, खूबसूरत भी है मगर मुश्किल भी है. So अगर ऐसी बात है तो from where do we get the actual definition of love?
You will never get the definition of love because it's something that we cannot define and put it up in a box. Love is something you feel and something you perceive and something you understand. Only way that we cannot define it, maybe we can know how to handle with that. So we have books written, not the romantic novels, I must say, not the romantic novels, not the rom-com movies. There are books which kind of guide us through this path. So love is not a destination, love is a journey. So in that journey, we might require certain things that we can use and equip ourselves in navigating through those paths. So Gary Chapman has written a book called 5 Languages of Love, which talks about how we speak the language of love. So he takes a step further and defines each language and each way that we perceive the language and how we speak it. Maybe it's the language of giving gifts or language of appreciation. We can talk more about the five languages of love in a separate cast. So coming back to eight rules of love, oh, this also is a wonderful handbook, I must say. This book itself says how to find it, how to keep it, and how to also let it go. So, like every good thing, if it's more than a set amount of measure, becomes poison. So, same thing with love. So, love after a certain point should not become an obsessive thing. So, this book beautifully teaches how to navigate through all that, how to find it, how to keep it, and how to sometimes, when in certain situations, how to let it go.
Eight Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. So, like, he did a tour, right? With
Yeah.
the very same, on the very same book,
Love
right?
rules store, yeah.
Yeah. So, somehow, like, I tried to attend in Bangalore, but I was not able to attend. So, I would like to ask, like, were you the part of that
Yeah,
show?
I was lucky enough to get myself a ticket. So the aura and the energy inside that auditorium was unfathomable. And we had Anupam Kher also in the show, and they did a small conversation. And we had also one person call up his dad and say, "I love you." Maybe he's not said that to his father in a long time, but we had cute little moments in the show and in that very presence. So we all felt the aura and the energy that the whole concept of love carries with it. It was an amazing experience, I must say, and that's where I got this book. I was not able to get it signed because Jay Shetty is a busy man. He left.
So, that was wonderful. Like, I think I missed something really great. बट एक सवाल है लाइक जैसा कि हम प्यार पर ही बात कर रहे हैं तो देयर इज वन क्वेश्चन इन माय माइंड दैट आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क
Sure, go ahead.
like why do people fear being alone like and how does it impact their relationship.
Fear of being alone. See, alone is one word that we use again, just like I mentioned previously, just like love has
Mhm.
multiple versions of it. Being alone is not only about loneliness because we only look at one aspect of being alone, that is the negative aspect, that is being lonely, and there's another aspect of being alone that's called solitude, the most underused or underrated concept of being alone. Solitude, like I think there's a saying, I don't remember the author. So solitude is the glory of being alone, while loneliness is the pain of being alone. So we always look upon the painful aspects of being alone, but we hardly recognize the glorious aspects of being alone. That's solitude.
Solitude, right? So it's actually a a beautiful space that provides us that capability to connect with ourselves. So हमें कहीं ना कहीं लगता है कि हमने प्यार खो दिया है बट शायद वही एक स्पेस होता है जहाँ हम प्यार को पा सकते हैं.
Yeah.
So my next question is, so how spending time in solitude help you build stronger and healthier relationship?
So if you don't love yourself, how do you expect others
Correct.
to love you? So solitude is somewhere where you get comfortable with yourself, where you find yourself, where you understand yourself in a better way, and also you recognize your triggers and patterns and what you like, what you don't agree upon. Solitude is where you get that space. So when you are comfortable with yourself, when you understand yourself, this book also emphasizes on spending time. Let yourself be alone is one of the rule this book extensively talks about, and Jay Shetty takes inspiration from the Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas because he himself was trained to be a monk. He calls it Atma Prem, so which literally translates to self-love. In solitude we find self-love. When we find self-love, and from that very moment we start uh, emulating the same kind of love to the other. So solitude strengthens the self-love aspect of your life. And any relationship for that matter, if you love yourself and you emulate the same kind of love to the other person, it will certainly reflect in all the human relationships that you have with that person. And it will strengthen every aspect of that relationship.
That was beautifully explained. So, my next question is how solitude is different from loneliness. I
Yeah.
want to understand this.
So it's very simple. So loneliness is, let's just say, loneliness is the painful aspects of of being alone. When you are having a cup of coffee by yourself, what do you feel? Do you feel that you want another person to enjoy that coffee with, or are you just concentrating on having that wonderful cup of coffee and actually tasting that coffee? It is just that. So when you are lonely, you think of the company that you can spend with drinking that coffee. When you are in solitude, you'd enjoy your coffee in a better way. So you would concentrate more on enjoying the coffee, not on having a company to enjoy that coffee. That's a very small analogy I can give you on solitude and loneliness. In loneliness, we crave for company. In solitude, we become that company.
That was beautiful. Actually, it was a beautiful example. तो मैं एक आखिरी क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछती हूँ. What are the practical steps of being comfortable in solitude? Because you spoke a lot about solitude and, self-love. So I just wanted to know, like, what are the practical steps to be comfortable with solitude?
Again, it's very simple. See, practical steps are, like I mentioned, having a cup of coffee all by yourself without your mobile phone for your company.
Okay.
Going out for lunch just by yourself without the company of your mobile phone, and enjoying that lunch just for yourself. Maybe if you feel a little awkward, maybe you can carry a book or maybe your assignment with you to keep yourself engaged, but do it just for yourself. And if you're not comfortable watching a movie by yourself, maybe do that. Begin with small steps. So when I was facing difficulties in being lonely or practicing solitude, I took the small measures like going and having a cup of coffee, just like I mentioned. I was not a great fan of watching movies alone, but for a few movies, I did that experiment and I watched those movies alone, and I started liking my own company after that point. So these are the small practical steps that we can take. I cannot say that I've mastered the art of solitude, but it's a work in progress. Just like I mentioned in all my conversations with you, everything is a work in progress. So these little steps will help us go through the phase of solitude. Maybe go attend a show all by yourself, or maybe write something all by yourself and read it out loud for yourself. These are small practical steps of practicing solitude.
Yeah, that was beautifully explained. Because कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम सॉलिट्यूड को बहुत ही नेगेटिवली ले लेते हैं. लाइक हमें ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं, हमें बहुत अकेला महसूस हो रहा है. हमें नीड है, और उस नीड को अगर हम सॉलिट्यूड कहें तो दैट इज़ रॉन्ग. बिकॉज दैट्स नॉट वेयर नीड कम्स. व्हाट आई अंडरस्टूड फ्रॉम आवर कॉन्वर्सेशन. So it was a lovely conversation. We really got to know a lot. एंड अब से शायद हमें सॉलिट्यूड और लोनलीनेस में पता है कि डिफरेंशिएट करना हमें आ गया है. एंड हम ज़रूर कोशिश करेंगे कि खुद के लिए वो स्पेस बनाए जहाँ हम खुद से कनेक्ट कर पाएँ बिफोर जंपिंग इनटू एनी अदर रिलेशनशिप. क्योंकि शायद वही एक ज़रिया है, वही एक माध्यम है जहाँ हम प्यार को एक्चुअली महसूस कर सकते हैं. एंड प्यार को पाना नहीं कहूँगी, क्योंकि जैसा कि आपने कहा कि इट्स अ जर्नी नॉट अ डेस्टिनेशन. सो गाइस, लव इज नॉट अ destination, but it's our journey. And if you really like this episode, do not forget to subscribe to our channel, that is Sapno Ke Canvas. Like our episode and share it with all your friends and family. And do not forget to press the bell icon. Here is Clinton Savio, and I am Sweety Sinha signing off.